What is up? My name is Mike Water and welcome to this channel, Radical Academy. In this video, we'll be looking at motion in physics. And motion is one of the topics that is very, very important, not just for the purpose of education, but also in our daily lives. That when we're moving, we see things, accidental things happening. When we are doing things, we see every day, each and every single day that happens in our life. We see motion taking place. So now, because of motion, things are able to move from one place to the other place. And for that reason, in this video, we are going to actually learn about what are some of the things that causes motion. What are some of the factors, what are some of the characteristics of an object which is undergoing a particular motion. So if you're new to this channel, please don't forget to subscribe and like and share to your friends and relatives who actually want to learn more about physics, more especially about this topic, motion. So now let's jump into our main content. Okay, so now we begin by identifying some of the quantitative, quantitative measurement, okay, that an object which is under motion can have. Okay, so we start by saying, okay, so most of us will understand the word motion. Motion is just an English word, nothing so complex, nothing so mathematical. And in a simple term, okay, motion can be anything. An object can be in motion as in moving. An object can be in motion as a stationary, okay. It is not going anywhere, okay. It is just stationary at that particular point. And now with respect to whether an object is in motion or not in motion, then we must be able to understand or be able to measure how much time, okay, we would take for this object to move from one place to the other place. And then how much more in terms of speed will this object move or actually accelerate when you apply a particular force. Now, this topic is actually credited to one of the most famous scientists of our time, okay? A famous scientist in the time of the 16th century, which was Isaac Newton. So Isaac Newton was the man who laid the foundation of motion and gave us the understanding of what is gravity and the formula to use to calculate gravity and all sorts of stuff associated with motion. Okay, so we begin also by looking at what is acceleration, what is velocity, what is speed, what is displacement, and then from there we develop some of the equations that we can apply to an object which is now moving at some instant, okay, in terms of time, okay. Is the object moving at the constant velocity, at the constant acceleration? Is the object not moving, or is the object at rest? Is the object retarding, or is the object now decelerating? Okay, so those are some of the key concepts that we must be able to understand if we actually really want to appreciate the topic called motion. And of course, there's some other people who can tell you to say the study of motion is called kinematics, okay, something to do with movement of an object. Okay, now those are the key things, or rather something that an object will have in common. So when an object is in certain motion, it can be accelerating or not accelerating. When the object is in certain motion, it can have a velocity, final velocity, initial velocity. When an object is moving, we can calculate actually the average velocity of that particular object when the object is set in motion, it has to move from one position to the next position, and that's what we call displacement, the change of position from one point to the next point with regards to what time the object has taken to cover that displacement. Okay, so now let us define these terms, the key terms that you have to understand in order for you to begin now understanding the whole concept of motion. Once we understand what is acceleration, once we understand what is velocity, once we understand what is speed, what is the difference between speed and velocity, what is the difference between displacement and of course distance in general, then we begin at some levels to comprehend the complexity of an object which is moving in a non-linear motion or in a non-linear path. Okay, so that's what you can now begin to appreciate, because these are the building blocks, the fundamentals of motion. So now let's get into it. So when you look at the acceleration, this is just the change. Okay, so okay, so now acceleration can be defined as rate of change of velocity. Okay, and then also velocity can be defined as this is the rate of change of displacement. Okay, so the change of displacement, okay, equals to velocity. Okay, this is the rate of change of distance. Okay, so this is the rate of change of distance when you're looking at speed, and then displacement is a change in position. Okay, so displacement is just the change of an object as a position. When an object moves from one position to the next position, then it has undergone a displacement. So I hope at this point you have now understand the concept of what is acceleration, what is velocity, what is speed, what is displacement, and other things that will come in. Okay, so when you look at all these terms, these are the terms, or rather the quantitative terms that can be used to describe the motion of an object. Okay, so the motion, the object can be accelerating, the object can be moving with certain velocity, the object can be changing position with respect to time. So I expect you to understand all these key concepts and be able to define them. As the question may request you to define the following terms and probably have a deep understanding of what each of those terms actually mean relative to an object which is under observation. Okay, so this is the first part of the introductory part of what motion is all about, and some of the key terms and the definitions that the terms that we can use in order to describe the motion of an object. So now in the next video we'll be looking at what are some of the standard units. Okay, what are some of the formulas, okay, for each of these that I've actually described. What are some of the differences between velocity and speed? Okay, so thanks for watching, And if you have enjoyed this video, please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video to your friends, relatives, and your classmates. Okay, so I hope I'll see you in the next video. It's bye bye.